Hi, my name is Tanaya Houston. I am your sober coach. Time to get off the bench and into the game. Today we have a guest. Please introduce yourself, Jocelyn.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn. I'm a healer and I'm ready for the action.
Tell us a little bit more about your occupation.
I, started my spiritual journey 2020 and I felt like I had learned a lot about myself through that time. I have experienced a lot of different things like the first time drinking, trying little, woozy and also just going through a lot of ups and downs in my life and just trying to figure out who I was. I feel like I did not have a clue of who I was. I was just built with a lot of emotions. So I tried different ways of coping, goods and bads, and trying to learn myself along that journey. As I started to really let God work in my life, I started to see, okay, there's more than just, acting crazy and avoiding things. So as I started to heal, I started to change and I started to develop who I truly was. And when I started to learn that about myself, I was like, okay, maybe I want to help lead other people dwell into their spirits, learn about who they are, speak positive into their spirits, motivate them. Because sometimes people have people around them who are not on the same journey or they are not even understanding what they're going through because they stay stuck or they don't want to heal. They're not ready to heal and it might not be their time. But if they can have that little ear, somebody just speaking a little life into their spirits, maybe it could lead them into a direction. Like some people have, they want to heal, but they don't know where to start. I've had so many different questions of like, well, how do you meditate? Or how do you do this? How did you do that? They don't have anyone around to tell them. So it's like, okay, maybe God is opening my spirit to guide other people to remember it's within you. You can heal yourself. You can grow. You can love. You can have unconditional love for yourself and spread that unconditional love to others. So I just try to be a positive impact into the world by being authentic, honest, and goofy, of course, because we need that. We need that humor in this lifetime, but and also just true. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I'm really about, honestly.
I think it was really interesting when you brought up inner, like basically like the folks that are able to find it within themselves first can let people know like, yo, you can find it within yourself first. So I think that's pretty dope. How would you describe your introduction to substances?
When I went to college, I've never tried alcohol prior other than wine. My mom gave us wine on Thanksgiving, but other than wine, I never drank alcohol until college, which I think I was 17 or 18 when I went to college. And so I'm a very experimental, curious girl. Okay. So I was like, I want to try this. Like, I want to see what it tastes like and whatever. I did not like the taste, but I kind of thought it was kind of cool that it could make you woozy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think I understood. I never used it as a way to like cope, but I did. It was an experimental thing for me. You know what I'm saying? And so in college, I remember the basketball girls, I was on the basketball team. The basketball girls were like, hey, come to our kickback. Of course, at the kickback, they have drinks and stuff. So mainly they would drink, but then they would also like smoke and stuff. So, I mean, in college, I was experimenting drinking and smoking. And it was it was definitely different from what, because also again, if this was like my first year, my first time trying these things, my body was also adapting to it. I'm lightweight, very very lightweight.
While you're in college or any time throughout your life, did you ever like witness someone being addicted to substances or like how it impacted their lives?
Yes. Okay. So that's actually crazy that you asked that because I said that was my first time experiencing it when I drank it. But growing up, my mother was an alcoholic, so she drank a lot of the time, which is also why I never wanted to get attached to drinking because I was like, if it's affecting her life like that, then obviously it could affect my life like that. And that's why it was never like something I could see myself doing every single day or getting attached to because I was like, I don't want to be like that. It's just it really affected the way she thinks, her thought process, her attitude, her emotions. I noticed like with her drinking, obviously you're seeing this person in your life every single day. So it's like I saw her drink and drink, and I would see how always bringing up negative emotions. So it's really important because when you start to see everyone has different experience with alcohol and how their body interprets how the alcohol does in its system, but sometimes it can be very negative impactful. So that's why I was being very mindful of like, okay, let's not get attached to this substance because it can really affect you, even the way you think.
When you said that, to kind of bring it back, you said when you would drink, you enjoyed like how you felt woozy. So like, I'm just curious, even like on a spiritual level, how they say like we're drinking spirits. So I don't know, like how would you feel like you were impacted by alcohol when you were experimenting with it? Like, were you the angry drunk, the goofy drunk? Like, what was it?
Because I'm still learning, like, where do I want to go in life? So it's like I was kind of influenced by anything. So I thought, okay, am I more excited when I'm drinking? But honestly, that was just my personality. You know what I'm saying? But even when I drank, it just gave me like a woozy feeling. Like, yes, I'm the goofy drunk. I'm the goofy one. I'm the one who is going to have us dancing, singing, playing games. Like, we're having fun. Let's turn up. You want to dance? I'm hyping you up. Like, I was that type of person. I wasn't really the type to drink out of emotions, but I mean, there was a few times like, you know, romantic exes and you're like, let me get one more sip because, you know, I'm feeling it a little extra tonight. But like, that wasn't like a habit. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think it had any spiritual impact on you?
Yes. Oh my gosh. There was one incident where me and my friend went somewhere and, oh God, this is very vulnerable. I've never really mentioned this, but you know, why not? I could have waited because I was fine, but we had the Don Julio, Uncle Julio. No, okay, we had Hennessy. But to get into the kickback, they made us drink. I didn't want to drink because I was a designated driver, but they were like, to get in here, you have to drink. So I took a drink. Henny is strong, okay? Henny is strong. When we got in there, we had a few more drinks, and then I think, you know, we hit, you know, the puffed a few times. I was fine because I was like, okay, and then it got shut down. And we could have sat in the car and just sat for a little bit. I was fine, but my friend, you know, me also trying to like just do everything. She was very drunk, very, very drunk. So she was kept like trying to, you know, she was all over the place, let's be honest. So I was like, okay, let's just head back to the dorm and you could just stay at my dorm or you can spend the night at my place, whatever. So we started to head back. We were almost there. And this is how I know this was my first encounter with God protecting me. This is how I knew that God really does protect people. And it's more than you think. So we were literally heading off the exit and she was distracting me as, you know, she was like, you missed it. But she said it like it bumped up my anxiety. She was like, you missed it. And then the Henny kicked in. As she said, you missed it, I turned the car and it just went spiral. It went in circle, circle, circle. We hit tree, 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 tree. I'm pressing on the brake hard as I can. It's not stopping. I'm so upset. I'm like, fuck it, just go. I'm done. My life is over. Like I thought we were gonna be done because it just kept crashing into trees, 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 and it would not stop. No matter how hard, it would not stop. And so I was like, you know what? It's my time. We didn't get one scrape or anything. We fell into a ditch. We were both fine and everything was okay. The car was a little messed up, but we were fine. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And now that I have more awareness about how spirituality and like connecting with God and healing and stuff, I realized I was protected. I was divinely protected. We both were, nothing happened. Like we were fine, but the way the impact was, there should have been something. You know, the impact was crazy. Her car was damaged and it was her car too, but I ended up helping her pay for it because I'm like, okay, you know, and she ended up getting a new one. But it was still like, that's also what made me say I don't want to drink. But also God was saying I need you to get away from some of these people because your influence, look how influential. I even told her before that party, there was a party that happened 2 days or after basketball practice. I was done. I was like, girl, we're gonna have to go another day. That party got shot up. God was trying to say something. God's trying to say, watch who you hang out with, and also watch what you're doing. Why are you so into drinking? Why you want to drink, smoke all the time? That was in my spirit. I felt a disconnect, but I still did it because I'm like, why not? But yeah. That was kind of deep, but yeah.
Ooh, no, that's so deep. Darn, girl.
Yeah.
Okay. From that story, all your life experiences, family, friends, what advice would you give anyone that is starting to explore sobriety, ready to commit sobriety?
Be committed. And when I say be committed, it's like understand what your intentions are when you do it, because intention is super important. Are you putting it down to impress people? Are you putting it down because you're embarrassed that people are going to judge you for being addicted or being an alcoholic? No, put it down because you know that you want better for yourself. So set those intentions, make them pure intentions. Do it for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else. Don't think, oh, I have to only celebrate when people acknowledge me. No, acknowledge yourself. So when you start to do that, you start to make an impact within yourself, and your higher self, you're gonna feel good. It's gonna make you feel like, okay, there's a reason I'm doing this. I have purpose. There's intentions that I'm doing this, and this is gonna help me for the future. So I would say intentions, consistency, and appreciation. Please appreciate yourself. Love yourself for this. Like, that's good. You know, you could be breaking curses. There could be people who look up to you. People might be like, oh, that's always what I've done. People always think they have to tell people. Some people are going to see you do it and they're going to be like, well, she's done it for 3 months. Maybe I can start my journey too. And that's where you start. And then you start making a ripple effect. And now guess what? You got 6 people stopped because they saw your inspiration. Please, you never know the impact you'll make when you just trust the process.